This time on Captain Chaos's Laboratory, we're doing a accent piece. Country Cove, or Coventry Cove. Sneak a peek. This has got to be an old one. Look at this. It's an old school box. Lemax ink. Coventry Cove. I honestly haven't seen one like this before. Kmart. And it comes with a battery pack, which I'm not going to use, because I always just use direct power. But the thing that caught me is, that's pink. That's pink. That's weird. So, I'm going to put this back in the box. And we're going to set the box off to the side. And we're going to take a look at this sneak a peek. And see. Figure out why it doesn't work. So, this is also kind of interesting. Here's the light pole. It literally unplugs. Why can't they do this all the time? Stop those things from breaking off when they're put away. It's like they had some good smart stuff back in the old days and crappy stuff in the new. Holy smokes. There we go. It's on. And they're going up and down. Was it the light? Well, the light doesn't work. I was told the characters didn't work, but they're working just fine. Maybe he got it confused with another table accent piece, since he's got a couple of them I'm working on. So, I'll turn it off. On the bottom, there's a lot more screws. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. I'm only going to unscrew the outer 6. I have a funny feeling the ones in the middle hold the mechanism that makes them go up and down. And I can run a 4 AA or 3 AA's or the power supply to make the 4.5 volts. It doesn't have a year on the bottom. But I've seen a lot of different Lemax boxes from different places, but I've never seen it or even bought. But I haven't bought one that said Coventry Cove before. Didn't even know that was a thing. So I'm going to assume this is a relatively older piece. That. No. It's also a really tight fit. Go. There we go. All right. Apparently if you walk them around enough, you can get them to pop out. So here's the light plug, which is right here. I don't know. I think maybe it's just loose. Apparently, this eccentric needs the body to keep it straight. Let's see if I just... I'll hold them straight up and down. With my other hand, I'm going to try and push this light back in again and see if I can get it to light up. If it's just... Yeah, it lit up. So there's a problem with the port it plugs into. And this is all soldered. There's no Molex connectors. belt's getting stretched. See that. It's also another easy piece to access if you need to. It is plastic and everything's screwed together. Yeah. It's got a lot of extra lithium grease just smeared over here if you need some extra. So, is there a way to get this to go up and stay? Yeah, it keeps popping out. I'm wondering if there's something stuck in here. Now it's clipping in, so there's a recess problem. Because these have an indentation which gives them a positive click into place, but it's not staying in place. So the problem we're having is it's falling in, it's not staying up. There we go. Sorry if you hear my dog, she's huffing and puffing and gonna scare anybody that walks by. This is just a triangular plate, but there's nothing to positively press on this. I'm wondering if we can put something under between the plate and this piece to press. I have an idea. Instead of trying to shove something in there, this is metal. It's the positive. If I put a solder ball on here or a little layer of solder that when this is screwed in, it'll push, because it's pressing up against here, push it up. Maybe I can get a positive connection and get this light working again. So instead of using solder for holding wires, I'm going to use solder as a spacer. And I'm going to put some flux on there to promote adhesion. This is a very, very large surface. Bubble. Make the bubble a little bit taller. There we go. Flux smells horrible when it gets hot. Let that cool down for a second. Still too hot, so it doesn't melt into the plastic. So basically, I'm just using the solder bead as a bushing to push positive pressure against the black barrel connector. So hopefully this will clip in and not flex it down. But while I'm waiting for that to cool down, I'm just going to quickly check the gears. I see wear on the gears, but I don't see anything broken on the gears. In case you have to replace the motor, this is an SRF 300CA, 11,440 revolutions per minute, which is pretty standard. If you want it to go slower, you can put in just the 300CA without the SRF in front of it, and that's 8,800 RPM, so it's 3,000 RPM less. I usually try to use those on the higher mass pieces, like the Ghost Around. I've said it before, with the higher torque, they usually last a little bit longer because the slower RPM ones have a higher torque rating. It's personal preference. I mean, I'll put the OEMs back in. I don't have a problem with that. I just know from how many of these things I repair that sometimes speed is not your friend, but power is. And when you have a lot of moving mass, you definitely want power. Try and get all these Christmas pieces done because this year's flying by fast. Thanksgiving is the end of the week. I don't know what, this won't be up before Thanksgiving, this video. But Thanksgiving's coming up in 3 days, 4 days. And Christmas is just another month behind it. Man, this year is flying by. Yeah, that sits a lot better against the white plastic now. Now, let's see. There's an alignment so that lamp faces the correct direction. And even with that, it's still blowing itself out. It's popping out. Almost like they have it too far recessed. It's so close. I need to shorten the distance between the bottom of this and the inside of that. There's a couple ways to do it. I'm not sure why this won't fit anymore. It could be warpage. But I can grind this face down because there's a lot of, I don't know if you can see how thick this is. It's really thick. Or I could try and grind down the white base, or I can cut this down. I'll probably try the black face before I do the white faces here, because you're not going to notice this as much recessed in the hole on the barrel adapter as you will on the snow, because it'll show any burn marks from the tool that cuts and or grinds. The barrel adapter, you're not going to notice it. So I'm going to desolder it so I can get it out of here. And then we'll use a Dremel tool, shorten that up a little. Just waiting for my soldering iron to get hot. I turn it off in between. It saves the heater element inside the actual iron. And I'll take a quick picture of where the wires go. And if you reverse polarity, that won't light up. It's not going to damage the light, it just won't light up. But I prefer to do it right the first time. So I'm going to remove this. Let's sometimes you have to add fresh solder to get old solder to come off. Like that. Like that. There's a lot of solder on this one. There we go. So here's the problem. This, I don't know if you can hear that click. You see how flush that is? Well, when there's the white plastic is in there, it sits like this, and then it tries to bounce out from the spring. It won't stay. So I'm thinking if we shave off some of this thick lip here, we should be able to make it stay better. Yeah, the spring clip is almost all the way in the back on this, so there's nothing in front of the pin other than just plastic. Good old-fashioned plastic. So I'm going to use a Dremel wheel like this, and I'm going to just go down and try and remove most of this face. I'm going to have to use the vise, which is off camera. I'm also going to just pause it for a moment because of the noise. The bushes are shoving. So let's grind this thing off and see if we can make it work. So if you have this house, or excuse me, this table accent, and you have a problem with this tree popping out, it may require a little modification to your power port. Alright, return in just a second. Alright, I'm back. So it's much thinner. I trimmed it right up to where the metal spring clip is. You can see right there on the bottom. So now we're going to put it back in and see if it works. So this clips in, doesn't fall out. Now I need to know if it clips in and stays while it's in the actual unit. And then that solder blob I was telling you about is right there on the back. It gives us some positive pressure inwards. If I remember right, the yellow wire was in the back and the white wire was in the front. Yep. So I'm going to take a picture so we don't forget. Oh yeah, that sits in there nice and deep now. Alright, tweezers so we don't burn ourselves. Some fresh solder. Magnifying glasses and tweezers come in real handy when you're doing stuff like this. That. My eyes are getting too old to see it. So, put this plate on. This triangular plate isn't a perfect triangle, it only goes on one way. There we go. much better fit. And it lights up. So, I still have that solder blob which is being pressed on by the screws. That's good. So let's put this in here so the alignment will stay. Good. There we go. Perfect. Put the screws in and we'll turn off some lights so we can see how the light works in the low light situation. So if you have this piece, the Sneek Peek, you do not have to remove the two screws that are in towards the center, because those are the screws that hold the base in for the up and down mechanism. So it's just the outer 6. I think it's pretty interesting that some of these older table accents had removable light poles so they don't break them off. You should have done that on a lot of the newer rides, especially like the teacup ride or the what was it? Oh, light popped out. It's not the Roundup. There's another one that has external lights that if you put it in your box wrong, you'll break the lights off. So. But it's cost. It all comes down to the cost. To have a second power port put on the inside of this unit probably costs a lot more in mass, bulk, than it does just to have a light pole that's glued on or cast into the unit with wires soldered directly to the board. I'm not a big fan of these style bushes and trees because they always lose their leaves. So, alright, let's kill some lights and see what it looks like. So, main light, bench light, power, and above desk light. All this is illuminating is the people that are going up and down. There's no illumination over on the bench. I'll turn the light back on real quick. The alignment pin on the light, literally just the two kids, so they don't see the man and woman kiss on the front bench. That's interesting that it only illuminates part of it. Because even with the light off, I can't see there's anybody on the bench. I can't even see the bench. I just see the top of the bushes. So they could have done a little bit better on the lighting on this piece. So, my opinion. Yeah, I know they don't want it. So that concludes how to open up, and if your light doesn't work, how to repair your light. If your people don't go up and down, the motor's there, the gears are there, the eccentric gear that causes the up and down motion, the worm gear, not eccentric, worm and pinion gear, those are replaceable. They come in standard gear kits you can get on Amazon or eBay. The belt, you can get the belt from Skull Crane Electronics or Amazon or eBay. They're hobby belts, so it's nothing. Everything in here is pretty easy to fix, and because this light is a pop-out light and it's not soldered to the board like modern lights, which again I'm actually impressed with, you can use, if I can find it, I might have put them somewhere. If you break your light, you can buy the pack of 4 accent lights and cut the bottom off, or drill a hole in the bottom base and solder in one of those barrel ports. I was trying to find them. I had 3 of them sitting around here. I don't know where they went. But, yeah, it is what it is. But these lights, their standard poles, are used on everything. So, anyway, that concludes the sneak a peek from the old Lemax. Till the next one.